watching Let's Chat.
As we get closer and closer to the Christmas holiday itself, invariably the folks at the Chattanooga Fire Department respond to a whole lot of calls, many of which are unnecessary. Chattanooga Fire Chief Philip Hyman is joining us here this morning to talk about safety, among other things. Chief Hyman, first of all, good morning.
Good morning, Chip. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. We're going to begin stressing safety. And ever since I've known you, you have been a big proponent of public safety. As we get closer to Christmas, the temperatures start dropping. Our safety impact, our safety knowledge really needs to be kicked up. Tell us how we can do that.
Well, I know that this time of year, the heaters, the fireplaces, the wood stoves, the radiators, all those things come out this time of year. And this can be a very busy time of the year for us because of that. These space heaters and that cause about 40% of our residential fires during this time of the year. So we need people to be extremely vigilant in making sure that those things are at least 3 feet away from any kind of combustible item.
Now, you're talking about space heaters and extension cords and things of this nature. Here we have basically a pretty cheap extension cord. If you're going to have a need for one of these, you don't want to get one of these cheap $3 extension cords that you can find at a pharmacy, correct?
Yeah, those just don't really cut it. They're kind of dangerous. Really, all extension cords can be dangerous, but the heavier gauge extension cord that you get, you spend a little bit more money, you're a little bit better off. We don't like to see a lot of extension cords, and particularly we don't want to see any of those extension cords run under a carpet and run under rugs, that kind of thing, because that's where they will overheat.
Maybe you could tell us.
Will overheat.
Maybe you could tell us what we should look for in an extension cord. Sometimes they're just absolutely unavoidable. Obviously, heavier gauge, thicker cord, which does carry a slightly higher price tag, but you're talking the safety of you and your family.
Yeah, that's correct. Obviously, the heavier gauge extension cord that you do use, if you are going to use them, you're better off in that world. A cheap $2 cord is going to get you exactly that. They're going to overheat easy, get overloaded in a circuit easy, and potentially catch fire. So we just try to avoid those at all costs.
How far apart should we keep space heaters and things of this nature from anything else that might even remotely be combustible?
3 feet at a minimum on anything. Keeping a space heater away from a Christmas tree, a couch, any kind of combustible item, at least 3 feet. And more is even better. And we don't want to leave them unattended either. We've seen that happen time and time again where people have left space heaters on in a bedroom close to a bed, close enough to the bed to actually ignite the material on the bed. And that's what we want to avoid. Don't leave them unattended, and keep them at least 3 foot away from any kind of source.
One thing I've seen which absolutely appalled me is someone trying to dry out a garment by putting it on a space heater. Big no-no. You never want to do that.
No, we've seen that time and time again as well, and a lot of fires have started that way. And that it may be an easy way to dry something out, but there's a huge risk with that, especially if it's unattended and you're not paying attention. So we highly recommend you just use the dryer.
All right, let's talk about the Chattanooga Fire Department itself. You were looking to expand the great members of your team, correct?
Yes, sir. We have a number of openings. We're actually starting a modified academy Friday, which will give us a couple spots, but we're really focusing on hiring a full academy, 34, 35 individuals to go through the process, to go through our 6-month academy. We encourage people to go online and apply. It's an excellent job, and it's an excellent way to give back to your community and provide a service that's much needed here.
And one thing I think it's safe to say, if you complete the Fire Academy, you have truly made friends that will last you a lifetime.
That is correct. The colleagues that I work with here are probably the finest men and women that I've ever met. They do an outstanding service. The men and women of the Chattanooga Fire Department are the backbone to our city when it comes to public safety, and they do an outstanding job. The amount of work that they do on a daily basis, it's amazing how much work is actually done. They're here 24/7, getting up in the middle of the night to go on these house fires or whatever calls that they're called to, and put on they have an excellent attitude and just provide an excellent service to our community.
Chief Hyman, I say this with all sincerity. You are among the finest men I have ever had the pleasure of meeting, and I wish you, your family, and the entire staff of the Chattanooga Fire Department a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Chip. Merry Christmas to you as well.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.